Alright, let's do this. So obviously you start with Ana here, and then you position in a particularly bad spot. Like where you are currently right now is fine. It's good actually, because you basically limit the amount of angles that you can be seen from, because basically you can only be shot from here, which Hanzo appears here later, but soon you're going to move forward and stand like right here, and you're going to get shot by McCree, who's going to appear down there. And then bam, and then McCree shoots you. Hanzo finishes you off. Unfortunate. So, honestly, you kind of just come up here and you stand here. I mean, I watched a little past it, but so you respawn, and you just kind of walk here. You're just standing here. You can't really go in. Your team's not around, but you're just kind of here. You're in no man's land. Which, I mean, at this level is fine most of the time, but when you're regrouping with your team, you generally want to be regrouping with your team and not just kind of out by yourself waiting for them to come to you. Because, like, there's really no point in just being by yourself, because you have to wait for your team to move to you anyways. So, honestly, when you're regrouping, you want to be with your team. So you want to be calling for your Mercy to heal you. So basically, you threw your nade. That's unfortunate. And then you get res and you die again. But you threw your nade before the engagement. So then you took some damage. You couldn't heal yourself with nade, and your Mercy isn't really that observant. Call to Mercy. Be like, hey, Mercy, can you heal me? Please, 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 Mercy. All right, you get sick of it. You switch to Moira. That's probably smart. Your Ryan ults for some reason. And in the 1v5, he figures he can do it. Yeah, you want to be calling for your team to back up right now, because all you want to do right now is wait for the Ryan to come back. Junkrat's taking this weird off angle that's probably going to get him killed. I can't remember for sure, but probably. Yep, there he goes. Okay, and at this point, you want to be regrouping again. You're using a lot of your spray, just kind of uncontrollably. There's really nothing that's happened here. There's no fight that started, and you're down to half of your resources. You're about to go down to about a quarter of your resources, and nothing has happened. When you're Moira, you want to control your spray. I mean, yeah, you get it back. You get a lot of it back right now. But if their team, like if their diva didn't push up like in front of her team for basically no reason, like because there was really nothing that she could accomplish, you would be still going into this fight with about a quarter of your resources, and then your Ryan gets, destroyed. So yeah, you want to be careful, like, because you can just spray with the Moira. Like you can spray, like, where are we at? We're at 257. So you can spray people, and that's fine, and they get this little residual healing that does 35 seconds of healings over 2 seconds. And then if you do it, if you just click and barely use it, they get a little bit of pre-healing that you can then pour more resources into later, but it also uses such a minute amount of energy that it basically recovers like instantaneously. So when you're like pre-spraying people before a fight, yeah, you can spray them, that's fine, spray, and then you can go for a little whatever if you need to, although you don't really want to run in front of your tanks, which is something that you do because you're a very aggressive Moira. You can go over this pre-spray, but like don't pre-spray like this. Pre-spray like a little puff, and then you move on. Little puff, and then you let it rest itself a bit, because when you're in the middle of the fight and your Ryan is taking a lot of damage, that's when you want to be able to pour a lot of resources into them. But if you can't do that, then your Ryan will be very sad. Alright, so we're back to this fight. Quarter of resources, their diva puts forward, as long as with their McCree as well. So you get a lot of your resources back, so that's at least well. Unfortunately, your Reaper is in a bad position. He dies. Diva goes down. Alright, so this is another lost fight. Like, it's actually pretty interesting what you did here. Oh wait, I hit the wrong button because I don't know if you did this purposefully, but you didn't heal your Rhine here. You just let your Mercy heal your Rhine, potentially because you decided that Ryan wasn't enough immediate threat for you to need to put in the heals. But keep in mind, I mean, you probably didn't know at the time, but your Mercy already has her ult, and you do not. So honestly, you probably should be at least putting a little heals into this Ryan to try to get coalescence as fast as possible. But he didn't die because you didn't heal him here, so that was certainly interesting. And if Mercy was about to get ult, that would have been like really big brain. But I'm not sure if it's because you made a conscious decision that Ryan didn't need to be healed, or it's because you're too aggressive, Moira. I'm not really sure. So whatever that is the case, I guess let me know. So this is an unfortunate position for your team because you lost the fight, you respawn, your tanks are running back to point, but your Reaper is still on point and your Junkrat just died. So like your team is having a lot of problems actually like regrouping and then staying together. They're kind of just doing their own things, and I'm imagining okay, so they at least realize the point is lost at this point and they come back to third. Hey, D.Va's like, I know the problem, guys. We need to group up. I like it. Like the orb obviously could have been better. You were trying to bounce it in their direction. If that worked, nice. But yeah, I like the idea. Get the ult charge. You haven't been able to build up coalescence that fast, unfortunately. Yeah, back up. No need to push the window. Oh, that was risky. You nearly died because of it. Okay. Your other healer isn't anywhere near you, and your Ryan is in Wonderland. He's what's the emote? It's not that time. I'm assuming that was some sort of misclick. But yeah, your team was in all sorts of weird positions. They were so far apart from each other. Your Ryan had pushed up, but you couldn't go with him because you didn't have any heals. But your Brig was off trying to chase someone, so she couldn't heal you. So your team is super segmented. Like they're not together at all. Like the only way you can really like help this is if you're a vocal presence in voice chat and people actually kind of are listening. All your Reapers popping off. Because like right now, like the big problem isn't something that it's like, oh, this is something that you need to fix specifically. I mean, obviously there's always things that you can do better, but your team is like fundamentally just failing as a team for the most part. If Reaper didn't get a huge ult right there, the other team would still be pushing the cart. But keep an eye on your Ryan. Keep an eye on your Ryan. Your Ryan's down to like 25% HP. You don't know where he is. He got a huge shatter and he won the fight though. So there's at least that. But like there's no, like you don't need to go off and try to get a kill like that. Like that. I mean, it's weird saying that as like a blanket statement because obviously there are situations where you getting that kill is huge, but your first priority is your Ryan. Your first priority is keeping your main tank alive and your other healer. Ryan obviously got the shatter. He won the fight there, so it ended up not being a big deal. But it's like a part of a pattern essentially that rears its head a lot, where you're like I guess focused on the wrong objective, and it can lead to you losing a lot of team fights, or at least being a part of it, because healers are pretty important. Okay, here again, we're using a lot of resources on basically nothing. So the other team is only starting to actually push in, and you're already down to less than half of your resources. You do have coalescence. Ryan's about to die. Nice fade. The coalescence was a bit of a panic, it seemed. Especially because you pushed out like where your Ryan wasn't. Like coalescence, I mean, you can use it offensively, but when you're gonna go against 6 people, like you need to be behind your team. Like you're not a front person. You're a Moira. But again, like that, as I said, you play Moira very aggressively. Like right now, you died here like entirely because you were in a bad position. Like your Ryan was spawning, your D.Va was over here, and then you were kind of just hanging out here. Like that. It was because you were mispositioned. And like, keep in mind, like, that's something that you need to think about. Like, why did I just die? Was I out of position? Did I get outplayed? Like, why? Or was it a good death? The good death is the third one. Outpositioned, outplayed, or resetting to find my team. Generally, the three reasons that you die. And you only can attribute a death to being outplayed as if you're not in a bad position that caused the death. So obviously this one, you were in a bad position and then you ended up dying for it. How's your team do? They have rally, but like, I don't think they'll be able to do that much with it. You're coming back. Heal orb. Okay, good heal orb. Keep your Rhine. Where's your Rhine? He's in front of you. He's 75% health. Rhine is way far away. That's another thing. Like, when you're fading, like, you want to be able to keep in mind where your team is, because you fade over here, you end up in a position where you can't really help your team because they're on the other side of the cart. So keep in mind, where's my team? Like, where am I fading to? Like, if you fade at the right time, you can just dodge the Diva Bomb with the fade. You don't need to fade behind the cover to dodge the Diva Bomb. So if you can stay with your Rhine, peer out a fade. If you don't trust the Rhine to shield you, which, I mean, I understand not trusting a Rhine to shield you because it doesn't work a lot of the time. And to be fair, that's actually good, because you shouldn't really trust your Rhine shield most of the time. You should trust cover in your own things, unless it's like unless it's a gimme, kind of. Cover is way better than Rhine shields. But yeah, keep in mind where your team is. Okay, you're using a lot of resources, but this is a good use of resources. Diva dies, unfortunately. Your Rhine is purple. Okay, so this is another thing where it's like you're positioned poorly, and that ends up to you dying. So this is fine, but instead of trending left here, you should be trending right. You should be coming back this way for a few different reasons. So you can still heal your Diva just as well from here, but you also have view of literally everything that's happening. You know where your Rhine is, you know where the other team is, you can see the Ana, and then eventually you'd be able to see the Hanzo that kills you, because he'll pop up there. Like, you wanna move in such a way that gives you the most visibility of anything that you can have, so that you always know what your next move is going to be. So like, once you're here, you're zoned in on the Diva, you got the horse blinders on, you can only see the Diva, you don't really know what's going on elsewhere. Like, this is again, it's a positioning thing. So you turn around, you see that, but you still don't really know where your Rhine is. Okay, now you found your Rhine, but then you don't know where the Hanzo is, so he ends up killing you. Okay. Alright, so this is just going to be GG. This is just stalling. This is fine. There's not a whole lot you can do there. None of their team is dying, and so you're just moving on to cart for time. Spin me round. Okay. And alright, sounds good. Alright, so we're on attack. Should have been a damage orb there. There wasn't really anyone to heal. So obviously with your orb usage, you got to keep in mind the fact that the other team has a Diva, and their Diva should be eating your orb abilities, so you want to use it in a way to make that at least hard for her. Okay, healing your team. Okay, I like that orb. That was a really good orb. Okay, getting some resources back. You're right. You're okay. Good. Oh, that was very unlucky for your Junkrat. That was a good fade away from you. Keeping your team alive. I like this. This is good. This is good. I'm not sure if you knew that he was behind you, like, or if you were just following your tanks. But either way, you keeping your team healed. It's good. You like already have coalescence. It's good. Okay. So close. So close. Throw the purple orb because the coalescence is gonna heal. Like there's not many times where you're gonna need to throw a heal orb and then go into coalescence, but like you might as well get the extra damage with the purple orb because you're about to heal your entire team. This was a very good A push though. Oh, and Mercy's giving you more ult charge. That's nice. But yeah. much better on attack here so far than on defense. You've been a lot more sparing with the resources. You've been healing who you need to have. You've had a lot better general awareness of the situations around you. And your team destroyed a part of, because of it. And then your Ryan pushes way up and okay. Oh, yeah, that was a little lucky heal orb. So this is kind of unfortunate because you're going to go into this next fight on very low resources. So hopefully you can get some more. That's what you're trying to do. Ryan's flanking. Oh, wait. Oh, Brig. That was a good play by Brig. So yeah, that was I mean, ultimately you did die because of a positioning thing there, but it wasn't as bad as previous ones. You were kind of just in the heat of the battle, and then you got caught out. It wasn't nearly as bad. It could have been better. You could have been. Oh, nice. Oh no! Can we get the kill? We cannot. Unfortunate. Yeah. So that was a time where you're focused in on trying to get the kill, and your Reaper dies because of it. Ho, how did that get a kill? So this is another thing. This is like your position, like so far away from your team, and at least you oh, you fell. No, but you at least realized, hey, I'm on the wrong side of the map. I should go back to my team. So you faded to your team. So that was good. But again, you're also like, here's another thing. You're too far up. There's really no need for you to be so far in front of your team. Like, just as much as possible, it's better to be healing your team, like, while looking at what's going on. Like, there's so many times we have to turn around to heal your team. Like Moira gets such a huge boon from being behind as many people as possible to heal as many people as possible with one click. But when you have to keep turning around, like, there's almost no way you actually heal more than one person because you're never in a spot. Well, I won't say never. That's a bit too much. But like, there's so many times you're not in a spot to heal, to maximize the potential of your abilities, essentially. Let's go back to see if you threw an orb before this coalescence. Okay, you didn't have it. You didn't have it on cooldown. That's fine. Did you need this coalescence? Maybe not, but whatever. That's not something I'm gonna go on that much, especially since coalescence charges so quickly. Don't stand still on a payload. It doesn't matter. You don't know where all of their team is. Just like stand behind the payload. Don't stand on top of a payload. Don't stand still in general. Heal your team. Where's your Ryan? He's on the other side of the payload. Okay. Mercy keeps rezzing people. Their Mercy keeps rezzing people after they lose the point. It's pretty funny. So yeah, you healed the D.Va a lot, and you were training on the D.Va. So yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, it's hard for me to comment on it specifically because, like, maybe you do know where your Ryan is and have a general idea of how much damage your Ryan is, like, under at the moment. And obviously you're not here to comment on that. But I'm just trying to instill general things, like general minders. Like I'm not really saying anything you don't know. Well, your Ryan is gone. He charged all the way in. Oh my gosh. Like, if the Ryan is going to charge like that, there's obviously not a whole lot you can do. He's going to need health, though. He's going to need health. He just got Sigma ulted. Y'all have actually had a pretty good push. I didn't remember that you did this well. But I'm pretty sure you end up losing this game. I'm pretty sure. Nice. Oh no, your Brig. If your Brig just stayed with her team. No, heal your Ryan. This is what I'm talking about. Too aggressive. Like, your Ryan. Let's go back. Alright, so we kill the Mercy. Awesome. Brig dies because she's in a bad position. Nothing you can do about that. Okay, Ryan charges in. He's taking a lot of damage, but you're focused on the Hanzo. He's at half health. He's less than half health. He could have survived that pin. If instead of trying to kill the Hanzo, you were healing the Ryan. And then you coalescence, you bring him back up to normal. And wow, you guys still cap this. Okay, you still cap that. That's kind of hilarious. I thought you would have lost after Ryan died. But, like, there was no reason for Ryan to die there. All right. How does this defense go? Bastion defense. So at this point, oh no. At this point, like, you're doing a Bastion. He's setting up in a really weird spot. You probably should have gone Baptiste. I think you play Baptiste, if I remember correctly. Like, Baptiste is much better with the Bastion, especially, like, oh, this is such a weird Bastion thing. You have 2 shields, but neither of them are actually on the Bastion at the moment. And is he going to die to the Hanzo? He might. Like Baptiste is just so much better with Bastion than Moira is. But, like, if you don't play Baptiste, obviously don't force him just because the Bastion. But Baptiste Mercy is, like, especially at lower levels, is really good with Bastion. Okay. You need to be healed. Mercy. Okay, yeah. Like, you might have been calling for it, obviously. I can't hear your chats, but you put yourself in a precarious position. Yeah, you put yourself in a very precarious position because you faded away. You didn't have your orb, and they were all pushing those spots. Like, you were set up, like, your entire team was set up in a really bad spot to begin with, especially because Bastion, one of Bastion's, like, main advantages is how little teamwork it takes for Bastion to work versus how much teamwork it takes to kill a Bastion setup. And that's why Bastion, like, when brought out in, like, weird situations, can just win a game, because the other team isn't prepared for it. They can't make the adjustments fast enough, especially, like, when they only have a minute to attack. Like, they don't make the adjustments fast enough. They go, oh, what are we going to do? They kind of panic. How are we going to kill the Bastion? And then they just kind of don't. But your entire team picked Bastion. Well, obviously the entire team didn't, but your team picked Bastion. You had 2 shields, so obviously they were working around the Bastion, and then they just didn't do any of that small amount of teamwork to help the Bastion. No, you need to fade out of here. Okay. Nice. Hey, Mercy's helping you. Orb, you have an orb. Heal your Rhine. Nice. Unfortunately, is another thing where your Bastion was in a really bad spot, and no one was helping him. Orb. Okay. So the thing with the heal orbs is if you kind of just throw a heal orb angled down slightly, it goes down, it hits the ground, and then it moves back up. And if it's healing people, it moves slower. So, like, if you just throw it straight away, it will go away from you faster, and it won't heal as much as if you get it like a small arc. Because if you can't, like, bounce it back to you, like, off of something, then, like, bouncing it off the ground slightly, like, at a slight angle is good too. It's better than just throwing it straight. Obviously you don't want to bounce it so much. You don't want to bounce it so much that it, like, bounces down and then straight up or something like that, or mostly up. But if you give it a slight arc, you get more heals from it. Ryan is purple. He dashes. He charges and gets a kill, but he's gonna go down. When you have, like, a super aggressive, like, Ryan, it is hard. It is hard to stay with him when you're Moira. It's much easier when you're, like, an Ana or something, because then you can just shoot him as long as you maintain line of sight. With Moira, though, like, there's only so much you can do sometimes, especially when he's like, oh, I'm purple, I'm going in, or I'm like, I'm at 40 HP and I'm going in. It's like, no, Ryan, please come back. We need you. If I remember correctly, they end up, like, pushing the whole way. So this is the thing that I said earlier, don't stand still. He pops in and it's a free kill because you're not moving. Like even more than that, not just don't stand still, but utilize cover as much as possible. There's no reason. Actually, okay, there's a few things there that I've actually talked about there. There's the regrouping phase of the fight, where people in low ranks, instead of regrouping and then pushing out together, they just kind of go, like, out of sight of the other team. Like, they push as far up as they can out of sight of the other team, and then just kind of stand there waiting for their team to come to it. This is bad. This is really bad, because especially as you go further, if you, like, start climbing, you get to higher ranks. Higher ranks know that a team fight, once it ends, it's not time to sit on the cart and wait for the cart to push. They know it's time for us to push up the map and take a lot of space, because taking space on the map means you have more control of the map, which gives you more angles to fire at the other team from. It like there's no reason to just stay back on the cart and wait for it to push up. So when you guys go out there and you're just standing there, any good team is going to push out and go, oh, look, easy kills. Regroup where it's safe. Don't stand still. Oh, there was another thing. Oh, it slipped my mind. There's another thing I was going to say. Oh, yeah. Cover. Stay behind cover as much as possible. So, yeah, regroup with your team in a safe environment. Never stand still, ever. Just, it doesn't matter. Like, make it a habit. Like, even if you get a team kill. Like, even if you get a team kill, do not stand still. Make it a habit to at least AD strafe, to move around, whatever. Crouch. Throw in some random crouches. It doesn't matter. You just don't want to ever stand still. And then use cover as much as possible. So it's unfortunate. You die. You can't push in with your team. Heal yourself. Okay, there you go. But like, there's really no reason for you to be here. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're on this adventure by yourself, and no one's around you. Like, your entire team is in so many different spots. Like, just stay for your team. Like, regroup with them. There's no reason to be there. So like, keep in mind how many times you die because you're in a bad position. Like, this is such a huge thing. Oh, Ryan, you're at 50 HP. No, he was at like 150. But like, he's at 150 HP and he charges in. He gets a kill though. I didn't even see he gets a kill. This is the thing that's kind of infuriating. Just in general. But it's like when people do really dumb things, but it works, and then it just kind of justifies all the times that they failed. They did the same thing basically in the same situation, but it didn't work that one time. It's when you have like a Junkrat and your team loses a fight, like everybody's dead, and Junkrat pops tire and gets 5 kills and ends up being the hero. But like, the amount of times he pops his ult in that same situation and then just fizzes out and does nothing is like so many more times, and it gets the 5k. But the 5k feels really good, so it kind of justifies in his mind all the times he failed at it. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Don't charge when you have 150 HP, Ryan. Okay. No damage orb because you already had the heal orb. Whatever. Okay, you dodge, keep them all up, you do some damage. This is a pretty decent coalescence. Heal your Rhine. I don't think that heal stream actually hit him. Your team is in so many spots and you're not there healing them. So that was unfortunate because like, you backed up on it. You should have pushed up with your Rhine and you kind of just backed up. Your Brig was like in a weird spot. So was your Reaper. And then Hanzo had pushed up and no one was actually trying to deal with him. Okay, they just get off the cart, I guess. Alright, fair enough. Alright, so you're spraying in vain a lot here. You're all the way down to 25% of your resources. A lot of it didn't really hit anything. Oh, you got Bastion again. Okay, so this is even worse because you're running a Bastion and you're running Brig Moira. Moira can't effectively pocket a Bastion because she'll run out of resources. Brig definitely can pocket a Bastion because she's Brig. So, I mean, this is one of those times where obviously you're like, hey, Bastion, can you switch? But then if the Bastion doesn't switch, it's probably way better to go someone like Batiste or Mercy or whatever. Especially if your other healer won't really help you. Okay. You could have pretty easily died there because you kind of went up to the McCree and then you just kind of stood in his face pretty still, but then he missed his shots. Okay. No. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You being really aggressive when you should be more healing. Like, your diva was in a big fight. She was taking a lot of damage, and you were right-clicking pretty much the whole time. And then you push way up again. Like, when you're Moira, you are a healer first. And, like, there's a lot of people that play DPS Moira, and I don't like that.
There was a flaw in my approach.
Wait. Oh, okay. She must have been resetting. What is your Bastion doing? This is a bad situation. Oh, hey, that's a decent window. Batista's gone. Can you do anything with it? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I'll lose here. Really, like. All right, let's go back slightly. Oh, hey, you killed a Batiste. Okay, so this is bad. Like, there's no reason to be this far up. Like you're slightly behind the Rhine shield, but you're like, you're so far up that you're basically you're mating with this Rhine. This is not a good relationship to have. You could literally just be behind here. Like, you could see your Rhine, you know exactly what's going on with your Rhine. If you can't use his shield as cover because he drops it, you can like use him as partial cover. You have access to like different cover options here, and then you could literally just fade back to this health pack if you really need it. Hopefully you don't really have to do that because then you're leaving your Rhine out here. But like, there's no reason to be this far up, especially because you're about to run in front and then have to fade away, and now you're just in front of your Rhine. Wait, what are you doing? Everyone's here. Why did you just leave your two? So you fade away, you come back out, and then you just leave your Ryan. Like, I'm not sure what you really did there. As Moira, you don't really do enough damage. You don't really do enough damage to like solo kill either utility items like Bongo or like Torb turret. Like, you can kill sim turrets pretty quickly, but like, you can't really. If you're the only one shooting like a Bongo or like a Torb turret, there's really no reason to do that. Or even like a shield. Like, the only reason you'd want to shoot a shield as Moira is if there's literally nothing else for you to do at the time, because you do so little damage to a shield. It's not worth it most of the time. 20 seconds left.
That changes my thinking. This will restore you. 10 seconds remaining.
Hey, he blocked it. Oh, it's unlucky. That could have been a really good coalescence. McCree makes a good play. Okay, so that's GG. Oh yeah, so just general things to keep in mind. Positioning is the biggest one. Positioning and focus. Like, where am I going to be to maximize the potential of me staying alive? And then where am I going to be to maximize the potential of my abilities? Because like, you want to, as much as possible, be able to see not only your team but the enemy team while healing as many people from your team as possible. So this is pretty good positioning. Like, this is good. Like, you can see all this stuff. You know what's happening with your team. Like, you're not like you're Ryan, help your Ryan. Oh my gosh, you get a, like, there's a lot of time that you weren't helping your Ryan. So this is the focus part. Like, what am I trying to do? Like, keep your tank alive, keep your Ryan alive. I mean, y'all probably would have lost this fight anyways, but just in general, your number one focus is healing your team. Second focus is damage after. Wait, did you just switch to Batiste? I mean, actually, that probably was smart because you didn't have your ult, so you can just get access to immortality, but it didn't actually end up doing anything. But yeah, keep in mind your positioning. You want to be able to see as much of what everyone else is doing as possible at all times, while still being able to be effective in the use of your abilities and obviously your healing. Be less aggressive as a healing Moira. Sorry, as a damage Moira. Be a more healy Moira. But at the same time, keep in mind how much resources you're putting in at times that you don't need to put resources into something, or at least a big amount, because there's a lot of times, like even before a fight goes on, that you were just putting a lot of heals into someone, and like they were kind of like at full HP already, so it wasn't effective. It was just like, oh, I'm doing this. Those are the big things. All right. This was 35 minutes. That's long. Okay, bye.